Welcome to Obscura Undead. We are your weekly source for album reviews, music discussions, and that sort of thing.
And that sort of thing. And I'm Azzy.
And I'm Mouse.
And this week we are going to be covering 3 bands as usual. We'll tell you after the break.
Oh, okay.
It's for the anticipation.
So we have 3 bands that we're covering. Little stubby fingers.
Haitian.
Ah! Man! Got me.
I did.
3 bands we are talking about today. We have Annex.
From Texas.
I don't remember the name of the album. Meru?
Melu. It's an L.
I was trying to do like a Spanish twang on it, you know?
I think it's still an L.
Fuck, okay. And then we have Ground Nero.
Divergence.
And finally we have Secret Shame.
Dark Synthetics. Yeah.
Alright, so let's get to it.
Let's start off with Annex.
Annex.
So this album is actually a little old, and it's practically a grandpa album compared to what we usually review.
That's debatable, because a lot of people, they don't keep up with music every single week.
Right.
It came out
February 18th, 2018.
last year.
Yeah.
So last year.
On Inflammable Material Records, Adelante Discos, and Occult Whisper Records. It's a lot of labels to come out on.
So they're out of Texas, and what we're hearing is beautiful death rock.
Yes, so it is a four-person band. It is Omar on drums. I almost said drugs. We've been talking too much about Matt. Nicole on vocals, Juan on bajo, which I had to look up because I guess it's a kind of Mexican bass, which is super cool.
I still think it's just bass, written in Spanish.
I don't know, there's something called a bajo sexto?
There is, but I think they're just on bass.
We need to look up live photos.
We could ask them.
Yeah, let's send them a message right now.
We could Bandcamp ask them.
And then there's Migas on guitar.
I just dropped something. Was it important? Was it liquid? Okay. Woo!
Yeah, okay, let's send them a message. But yeah, this band is out of Texas, and their music is very, very death rocky. And the reason why we're reviewing such an quote unquote old album is because they are teasing new news sometime soon, and I can only assume that means a new album.
And they just posted it this week, so
yeah, we
want you to know about the band and keep an eye on them so that when the news drops, you'll already be a fan.
You'll be just like, I know who these guys are. Obscura Undead told me.
I know what's going on here.
Yeah, so this LP is really cool. So Nicole, the vocalist, she sings with this really strong, screamy death rock voice, and
reminds me of Ötzi
in that way. But she sings in both English and Spanish, and often in the same song will sing in both languages and have like a verse in English and then a verse in Spanish.
And that's really cool. And it's also very hard to do. Like, people don't realize that it's really hard to like mix the lyrics together and have one jump to another and sound seamless. Especially when you're looking at your lyrics and having it make sense.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the topics seem to have just sort of deal with political and social oppression, which is not so surprising coming from a death rocky band, and especially one that has influence in Mexico, because that's what we see coming out of a lot of like the death rocky music. There is a lot of very politically influenced tracks.
Yes, and I thought that was really interesting that they're from America, and it still sounds like they could be like a Mexican death rock band. Yeah,
and we're starting to hear that sort of in the last couple of years from a lot of Californian and Texas bands, which I think is super cool. I really hope that people sort of get over their not wanting to listen to music outside of English and start actually paying attention to some of these bands that have lyrics in Spanish, because
I don't know that pain. I love listening to songs from other languages.
Yeah, me too.
Sure, you can't necessarily hear the lyrics, but it helps you pay attention and focus in on the emotion of the vocals.
Yeah, I agree.
And I love that.
Right. And there's a lot of emotion in the vocals. And the music has almost kind of like a psychedelic riff in a couple of places. Like, I thought that Las Cruces had kind of like a psychedelic like riff on the guitars, which was pretty cool.
I loved those guitars. I wouldn't say that they were the wailing guitar that you would hear in death rock.
No,
It seemed more
not such.
post-punk,
More like
proto-punk.
dark, more like dark post-punk.
Yes, but her vocals were spot on death rock, and the guitar work was amazing. Like just the guitars and the bass, like together, intricately written. So I have an appreciation for that.
Yeah.
I really loved the track "New Light." You know, by the end of the song, she's like just singing "New Light" over and over, and it's just a jam. And I also, actually, I think
I really loved El Maniki.
yeah, all those songs, like right in the middle, tracks 5, 6, 7, and 8. It was just like a big like hump in the middle of the album. All of those songs I really loved.
Yeah, I agree.
Track 7 was called Transient. Transient?
I think it was Transient.
Transient?
Let's turn your brightness up.
Now I can see.
Yay, Transient!
Yeah, Transient. Okay.
And El Maniki is track 8, and that was my favorite track.
Cool. I think my favorite track was Transient.
Well, you know me, I love any track that has like a good bass line.
The bass lines are amazing in a lot of these songs.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't remember which ones I liked the best.
Red Tide was also really great.
So was Strobe.
Oh gosh, yes, I was listening to Strobe and I was like, this is gonna be Mouse's favorite track.
I loved Strobe. But I also love Transient because of the way that she sings, like the way her vocals, like just, I don't know, they were smooth and I don't know, I can't describe it.
They're full of emotion that you loved.
Full of emotion that I love.
Excellent.
That's what I love.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to new music from this band. If that is indeed what they are hinting at, it's usually what bands hint at when they hint at things.
Yep. So following, and looks like we have a bunch of friends that are into death rock and post punk.
I love seeing
that are
all of our
following them.
friends on the
Bandcamp.
on the Bandcamp, like underneath. Yeah, it makes me feel like I should buy an album even more.
Yeah.
Annex is also on a mini tour this winter. You should check them out if they're coming to a show near you. You can check the schedule itself on their Facebook page.
Yeah, I think California.
It's California, and then I know that they're in Pittsburgh, and I think they're going to be in Chicago and maybe New York. No, I don't think they're in New York.
No, they're not the ones that are in New York. Winter, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and California.
Oh yeah, the band that's doing the all the cities in California. Yeah, so if they're anywhere near you, I honestly think it's worth the drive to go check them out. But unfortunately, not worth the drive for us to go to Cleveland,
Illinois, Chicago.
Yeah, so that's Annex. Can't wait.
Next up.
The next album is one that I almost missed, and I'm a little embarrassed to say that.
I missed them completely, and I feel bad that I didn't know about them 3 years ago.
So it's Ground Nero with their upcoming, already released album Divergence. The official release date on Bandcamp is October 5th, but the album went up on Spotify on September 6th. So we're kind of in limbo between...
Is it out yet? Is it not out yet?
It's out yet.
You can listen to it. You can listen to it right now on Spotify or Bandcamp, so go check it out.
And I love this album.
I love it too. So this is... I forgot the guy's name already. It's...
Oh my gosh, his name is Guido?
No, let me try.
Oh, okay.
Gwidjda.
Guido Vompers.
Gwidjda.
Anyway,
Where are you getting that name from?
Facebook.
This says Gwidjda de Ersta.
Yeah, I also read it on Facebook. It has in parentheses Guido.
Are you sure that's not a joke?
I have no idea, but if they put it on Facebook, it is now law.
If it's on Facebook, it has to be true. And with 2 Peters.
And with 2 Peters. Peter Smeets on guitars and synths, and Peter Filchians
on bass.
On bass.
So that's gotta be confusing. I hope there's not like a Peter 1 and a Peter 2.
I don't know. Peter Smeets friended me on Facebook.
Peter Smeets?
So hey, if you're watching this,
I'd like to meet Peter Smeets.
Anyway, this is coming out is out on Dance Macabre Records,
which we love. Macabre. So they have a couple of releases already on Bandcamp. Their first one, Beyond, came out in December 2016. I had heard that when I first heard about them, their key songs were on this. So Beyond. And and then they put out something called Scales, and now there's Divergence.
Scales was very good.
Ugh, I gotta go back and listen to it.
Yeah, you do. Scales was very good.
Okay, how do you think this album compares to that?
I like them both. They're fine. It's the same.
Okay.
It's Ground Nero. I don't know how to...
So Ground Nero, they are from Belgium, like we said, and this is evoking straight up 90s gothic rock.
With synths, like with these modern like synth lines. So it's another one of these goth wave bands.
Yes, and
I mean, sis is a thing.
And I do love the synths, but it's not synth heavy. It's gothic rock heavy.
Yeah, because it's very much goth guitar's wall of sound heavy.
Wall of sound.
Wall of fucking sound.
They did it right.
Oh yes, because it's not oppressive. It's not like boring. It doesn't make you want to go to sleep. It's like exciting wall of sound.
There's
like, I would love to see them live.
Oh, I would love to see that too. There's even some guitar solos.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. I think it was Savannah, which is like track 6, where I was like, oh my god, this is an 80s guitar solo. But I was like...
Guitar solos, not something that you hear too often in goth music.
Well,
or ever.
Yeah, you do, but sometimes it's like... It's a half solo. It's like a...
Sometimes it's just the melody that they keep playing throughout. It's just highlighted.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
That's not a solo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. But this was like 80s guitar solo. Like, everybody shut up. This guy's doing his work. It was glorious. Glorious. Savannah, check it out. So the first track, I loved a lot.
You always love the first track.
I do always love the first track. But not when they have the first track is just ambient.
Right.
BS. I don't like that at all.
I really loved track 2, but I'll let you tell me about track 1 first.
Track 1, the vocals are amazing.
The vocals on the entire album are amazing.
The vocals on the entire album are amazing, but when you listen to it and you're just like, oh my god, this guy is gonna croon to me this whole album, and it's just so exciting, and it's like the beginning, it's like a first date, and it was the perfect first date.
Oh, I love that analogy. Yes, I've listened to so many albums where it feels like the first date and you're just in love
and you're like, this is so exciting.
You want to take him home and lay him down and you're just like, give me more.
But not too fast. So track 2, I did not like as much as track 1.
See, I love track 2. I love like the drums in the beginning and the synths, and then I thought it was a perfect like 80s goth song. And the chorus is just so beautiful. Like I really loved like the lyrics of the chorus and the way that it kind of lightened up and he sang in it.
Crooner.
Oh, it was so good.
What a great voice you have. So it's, just to talk about his voice again, it's...
Oh, now I have the song stuck in my head.
Very deep and heavy, a lot like Hey Pax or Thymian. Wait, Tie Me In. Tie Me In.
Tie Me In?
Tie Me In Nuts. Tie Me In. Like...
I get it. Okay.
And right around track 5 was when I really loved the songs. I really loved the choruses. Like, they were like...
Was it at that point when you're like, this date is going well?
This date is going well. We're going to be here for the long term. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly that feeling. Like, it wasn't just a fluke, like the first couple of tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is good stuff. So track 5 is Divergence. That's the title track. And I just have to say right now that I think this is the best track on the album.
Divergence was a very good
And
track.
that's probably why they named the album after that song, because it was so good.
I also really liked the track before it, track 4, Heaven Sent, because it was just so cheesy.
Ah, really?
Yeah. But
in a good way?
In a
that makes
really
you smile.
Good way, in a way that makes you smile. Like it sounds like such a serious song, and then you start listening to the lyrics, and it's like, oh gosh, I didn't write them down, but it basically sounds like cheesy vampire lyrics. It's like, I'm addicted to hanging around.
I'm addicted to hanging around. Are you serious? Oh man, are there lyrics in here?
I could be totally misinterpreting the song.
There's no lyrics in there. So track 6, which I mentioned before, that has the guitar solo, is very dreary. And I was just thinking of vampires too. I was thinking of Anne Rice novels that I used to read in the 90s.
Oh, I still read them in the 2000s.
I'm so sorry. And then Alacrity is track 7, and that as well evoked that. Oh no, it was Alacrity that had the guitar solo. I'm sorry, not Savannah. So Alacrity had the 90s throwback retro goth style. Is retro goth a word?
It is now. I mean,
retro
it's 2
goth.
words and we put them together to make a new word.
# retro goth. But it seriously transported me to another time. Like, that's how well done it was. And then the guitar solo, I was like, yeah!
Yeah. So the album is 10 tracks long. And one thing that I was really surprised by is, so, okay, usually when I listen to an album where the songs are 5 minutes plus, I'm like...
Well, they're not here. Yeah, they're all like, except for track 2, which you liked.
Track 2 and track 10. My favorite track is the longest track on the album at 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
I think that's why I liked it the least, because it, not the least, but I mean, it wasn't as likable for me because I think it lost its momentum for me. Mm-hmm. But the other tracks, they finish in 3.5 minutes and...
Well, 3.5 to 4 minutes, but the tracks on this album are longer, which is something that I usually don't like. It's not like, I don't want to go sit down and listen to like 10-minute pool songs. Like, that's just the worst.
We listened to 9-minute electronic Eric songs.
My husband loves
and those
Tool.
were good.
Those were good, but that's because they were like ambient and fun.
And they transitioned for a long time before the Eric.
That was a lot
Inside
of fun.
joke.
Yes. Oh, sorry. We'll link to the Electronic Eric project.
Okay, and so those 3 tracks in the middle, or 4 tracks in the middle, Heaven Sent, Divergent, Savannah, Alacrity, I felt were the strongest, as well the last track, whatever it is, Kitez,
something.
Kizes, 5 minutes long.
Pizzazz.
Kazazz. Jazz hands.
Sorry.
Another strong song to close out the record. Great job, great stuff.
The entire album was just very, very solid.
I forgot to read the Bandcamp art. I didn't read the Bandcamp poetry for Annex.
We could read it for Ground Nero.
Okay, so Ground Nero, it says, oh my god, okay, so first of all, it has the word 80s in it, spelled 80IES.
Cool, whatever.
All right, so Ground Nero creates 80s gothic dark wave, making use of modern sound tech, keeping cold wave roots and culture, restaging it with wall of sound arrangements, aiming at making people shiver. That is some amazing Bandcamp poetry.
Oh, it was an amazing album.
Oh shit! Oh, it started playing by accident.
I didn't fuck anything up.
We'll find out.
Oh, they didn't have any.
Yes, they do. It's right there.
No, whatever. We'll skip it.
Oh,
Sorry.
Annex. Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
So, my favorite tracks were Jabez and Heaven Sent.
Jabez. Is that like a guy who like brings you your
No, I think
burritos?
that's Javier.
It doesn't give
I
like
have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
me neither. Okay, moving on.
Anyway, go check out Ground Nero. You will not be disappointed. Unless you are, in which case, I don't know why you're here.
Not our problem.
Yeah, so the last album we're going to review is Secret Shame, Dark Synthetics.
Ah, Secret Shame! So I have been hearing about these darlings everywhere. Bandcamp did a Bandcamp Daily article on them.
Specifically, Andy Harriman wrote an article for Bandcamp Daily about
she did?
Secret Shame. Yes!
I thought she did the one on postpunk.com.
No, she might have done both. I don't know, but she did the one on Bandcamp. I looked at the bottom and in bold letters it said Andy Harriman.
Jeez, Andy, you're awesome.
Oh God, she like my comment said, she always knows what's what.
That's amazing.
Like, I love when I'm like seeing one of her posts because I'm just like, yes. Okay, anyway, moving on. This album was released on September 6th, and is a
5-piece band. Oh, they are a 5-piece band out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Why did I only write down 4 of their names? Shit.
They only go by their first names, which I hope you wrote down. Okay.
Rinicky.
Lena, who's the vocalist.
Oh, yeah. And she also does synths. And Rinicky, who is the lead guitarist.
Matthew, Nathan, and Billy.
I forgot to write down Billy.
Bass, drums, and rhythm guitar.
Respectively.
So, they are a relatively young post-punk / death rock band. And I say death rock sparingly.
They're definitely more dark post-punk. And I kind of almost hear some, like, rockabilly style in there, but I think that just might be the rhythm guitar.
Each one of their songs takes on a different type of dark post-punk.
Kind of, yeah.
Some of them sound like classic Susie to me. Like,
I didn't get that
the
vibe.
kind of, with the way that she sings, like her voice.
So Lena has very soaring high vocals, and there's something in the cadence about the way that she sings that is like a little unusual. It isn't Like, you have to have the lyrics. I'm so glad they put the lyrics on there.
I
to
am
follow
so
along.
glad they put the lyrics on there too.
Because she'll go from, like, having these long notes, just having a bunch of, like, words all right in a row.
Yeah, and the lyrics are
so
truly poetry. So I can
gosh, yes.
kind of see that, like, I hope she's the one who wrote the lyrics for these, but I can kind of see how, like, it starts off as poetry, and then they put the music to it, maybe?
I'm not sure, but a lot of these songs deal with, like, I was reading, I suspected that it was, and then Andy Harriman did her piece, and I read that, and they deal with, like, the drug crisis, because the band is from Asheville, North Carolina, and there is a big opiate crisis in the United States, if you didn't know already.
And they were talking about in that article about the things they've gone through and how they felt like just walking down the streets and seeing the effects of, like, heavy drug use and how it's torn apart families and friendships and all kinds of
individuals, and it's killed a lot of people.
So when you look at these lyrics, look at it from that perspective, and
the first track,
beautifully written lyrics, like they're not like your typical
Gift is
heavy and deep. So in the lyrical emotion, so in the passion that they've brought into this song, you're not going to find typical sing-along choruses here. I mean, I can't even...
It's so hard to characterize and describe without just giving you the music to sit down and listen to, because there's something incredibly powerful about the way that Lena sings.
Let's just say deep lyrical content. So even if you look at something like Creature, you could tell it's like poetry, because you don't get like the repetitive verses or the repetitive choruses like you would have in a typical
Gosh,
pop
Creature,
song.
like, that one got me, the whole, like, that's fine, it's fine,
And then it talks about suicide and all of that.
I feel so good all the time, suicide.
Yeah.
Like,
so spend some time with this album.
spend some time with the lyrics.
Spend some time with the lyrics. Definitely read it with the lyrics. And it kind of also reminds me of the way Kaylin Mikla does her lyrics. So
Where it is more from that poetry standpoint, like...
standpoint, but also their environment shaped the music, and that's what they're giving out to us. Not a lot of bands can even do that. You know?
And transform it so perfectly. Yeah.
Another thing I want to point out, this is kind of jumping around a bit, but I was looking at their t-shirts, because I definitely wanted to buy a t-shirt, and they look like, individualized art that are after a song, and I knew for sure that Lena drew this. And then I looked down and it said, it didn't say particularly that the shirts were designed by her, but it says that she did cover painting and singles art series is by Lena. So we know that she draws, she illustrates, she's got so much going on.
That looks exactly like a shirt that you would wear. See, I
know.
I love the shirt for Gift. And that's unsurprising. Gift was my favorite track.
It was definitely a beautiful song and very
because when I first turned it on, I was expecting like more death rock, and I was very thrown off by her like really high soaring vocals, and I was like, huh. And then I kept listening to the album, and like I started listening to like what she was saying and reading along with the lyrics, and I was just like, this album is like, it has its hooks in me. Like this
album has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
And a lot of soul. I know that sounds cheesy, what have you, but it's not. It's the opposite of like where you get like poppy dance floor music. This is something that you really have to let digest, and it's beautiful and brilliant.
Right. This is art.
This is art. This is art. So good job, Lena and the bands, and I really hope to see more from them. I really hope I can see them live.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see them live. Can you imagine how powerful of an experience that would be?
I can't even imagine. Where are they touring? Where are they going? Opening for Sisters of Mercy?
Question mark? Are they going to be in Mexico City 2020?
I'd go. But anyway, I'm a big fan now. I hope this is their debut. I think it is.
I think they have
a couple of releases already.
They had an EP before this.
They look really short. So there's a demo and an EP out on Bandcamp already. So I'm going to go check those out. But I am a new fan, and I really hope to see more from Secret Shame.
Right. What were your favorite tracks?
Oh, I don't know.
Mine were Gift, Calm, Storm, Dark, Creature,
Creature, A Calm Storm,
Haunter.
Oh, Haunter was great.
Haunter was so good. The entire album is...
We've only got 7 songs,
Yeah,
and each one is perfect.
And the album is less than a half hour long.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's great. And that's it for our albums this week. As always, tell us in the comments like what you like. I know that we posted these albums a little bit early on Facebook because we kind of get excited and we try to.
We kind of want you to know what we're going to talk about, because if you listen to it and then listen to our review, it makes more sense.
Hey. And I know that people have been responding really well to all of these bands.
Yes.
Let's see. I've gotten "fuck yes" for Annex. With a lot of exclamation points.
I've gotten, oh my god, Ground Nero, they're so good.
I think that was me.
Oh my god.
And Secret Shame has just had a lot of people going, oh. Yeah, blah.
But you never know, like, we could review the bands and then all of a sudden they could, like, shoot to stardom and be like...
Yeah, not because of us.
They could be like, we were first mentioned by these two stupid girls in Florida.
Oh yeah, because we're total hipster girls.
Are we now?
Yeah, because we're at the cutting edge.
Oh, that's right. Any goth music that was made after 1996 is hipster goth, right? Is that the definition?
I don't know. I bet you it has as many definitions as the actual word goth.
That's true.
Moving on. We would like to thank our patrons for making this lovely discussion possible.
Brought to you by the letter Skullgirdle.
And the letter Acid Bitter.
Thank you, Cadaver Kelly.
Thank you, the number Dave Azoa,
Oh my god. Thank you, Diasiculus.
Thank you, the color Beth Razak.
Oh my god, how are you coming up with these?
It's kindergarten, that's how.
I don't remember any of that.
Okay.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, the shape Junkyard Bat.
Oh my god. There's colors, shapes, numbers. That's it.
Letters.
Fuck. Thank you, the letter Tiffany.
You keep skipping some.
You have to remember your...
Thank you, Max Shrek.
Thank you, Demetria.
Thank you, Uncle Faster.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Mason Shiver.
And check us out on obscureanddead.com. We post music reviews. We actually have a huge team of writers writing for us. It's pretty awesome, and I love all of you if you're watching my
Love our writers. Do our writers even watch us?
They'll tell us. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all the other social media.
Except for Twitter.
Except for Twitter. So thanks, Unsumber, for tagging us on Twitter. We told you not to! But yeah, on Facebook we actually have a group, and a lot of people go in and post new music and have discussions on releases that are coming up. It's a lot of fun seeing what people post and what they say. But until next time, subscribe, like, comment, something about a bell.
Ring a bell. Tinkerbell.
Ring my bell.
Smash the bell.
Whoa! And we'll see you next time.